Nation, Week 11 edition of Raiders Game Day. I'm Vince Sapienza in for Aaron Coscarelli. That is Marcel Reece. That is Eric Allen. Raiders living legends. And guys, let's get right to it. Another rough week for our Raiders. That's now 3 straight, a 32-13 loss at home to the Cincinnati Bengals. Rapid reaction.
Rapid reaction is just not good. Right now is not good football for the last few weeks for the Raiders. Just not a Raider brand of football in the time that matters during the season.
Yeah, just really struggling with identification. Who are you out there? I think that's what the important question and answer is this football team's not playing at all with any confidence right now on offense, defensively, just not enough consistency for 60 minutes, and we're seeing the results of all that happening.
And I know after a game like this, Raider Nation has plenty of questions. We are going to do our best to answer as many of those as we can. Here is what is on tap on Raiders Game Day. We're going to break down the first and second half. We're going to hear from Raiders interim head coach Rich Bisaccia, as well as we will take a tour of the AFC West on this Week 11 edition. But first, we got to get into this first half highlights. And things started out pretty good.
Yes,
Deborah March lighting the torch of the Salute to Service Weekend, which we will talk about more later in the show. But guys, that's a nice coin. How did we get one of those? Man, Marcel, you know a guy. Let's get into these highlights. And things really did start off really well. Joe Burrow, a lot of pressure on the Bengals quarterback. And
man, look at that.
Results in a turnover.
Tell you what, our defensive line have been the shining point of our team right now.
Stay outside, bro.
Come on, Levitt.
Stay outside.
Get to the sideline and go score a touchdown. Yeah. Get your first touchdown in the NFL, young man.
Now, obviously, prime scoring position, the Raiders offense unable to move the ball. Maybe just a slow start.
Red zone. That red zone is kind of kicking us in the butt right now. We got to figure out a way to be more productive in the red zone.
Look at these two. Always at the quarterback.
Daniel Carlson kicks that field goal, but this is where things started to turn in terms of what the day was about.
This is late. This is not smart. Obviously a ticky-tack call, but we have to understand how the game is being called if we want to be a smart football team. Not good there.
Now, I'm curious, when you're looking at what the Bengals were able to do, they were able to move the ball in chunks early in the first, but the Raiders defense able to hold at the most important times late.
For the most part, and you see a lot of in-breaking routes coming into the young quarterback's vision so he could be able to avoid this kind of situation. Coming into the game, you know Raiders defensively up front doing an outstanding job.
Listen, he wasn't down there. That's a live ball, EA. Watch this play now.
You got to get out. Look at the relentlessness.
Great job by Solomon Thomas.
Oh, man.
Look, Yannick, good job, Max. He didn't touch the ground yet. That's a live ball.
Live ball.
Come on.
Now,
got to throw the penalty flag.
As we look back at the first half, offensively, kind of a repeat of last week. Not a lot of offensive plays, just 22 in the first half today. The good news was seeing the Raiders defense attack. The pressure, that pocket seemed to really be closing in on Burrow a lot in that first half.
Listen, so important, guys, to understand what we can come to the ballpark each and every week, and that is with that aggressive pass rush. They continue to get after guys up front, just collapsing, creating issues and problems in the offensive backfield, and that allows for opportunities on the back end at times for the interception. So again, just trying to play complementary football for the most part. The consistency needs to be there, and we can't continue to give offenses opportunities with penalties.
Absolutely. The penalties are tough to swallow because it's not just having a penalty, but it's where on the field you have those penalties, whether it's in the red zone or backed up, and when at the point in time of the game you're having those penalties. We had big penalties on third down. Last week it was the offense that had struggled on third down with mistakes. This week it was the defense. You play great defense for 3 whole downs, and at the end of the play, a bad penalty.
Yeah.
One was a bad call, but it's on the refs, but yet we're still putting ourselves in those positions that don't necessarily help us. The bad one I'm talking about is the unnecessary roughness on Faison. That's a soft call.
Yeah, it is.
That's a soft call,
yeah. Changing errors
Come on,
of football.
it affects the game.
Yeah, it does.
It affects the game. Come on, ref.
It's a domino effect. But as we were looking, the second half, it was right there for the taking. Everything the Raiders wanted to do, still there. The offense had a chance to get going. They couldn't to start things off, and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. That's quite a connection.
In-breaking routes for this young quarterback to see the things coming into his vision. And again, we want to continue to have great pressure. Abram on a great safety blitz.
Come on.
Woo! Loved it.
All right. So here sorry, Marcel, but we're looking at, it's a 10-point game now. All of a sudden the offense starts to click in the fourth quarter. Big throws to Darren Waller. DC making those throws. What did you like about that drive? Aside from them scoring, obviously.
I like that. One, we called it, and two, we threw it. When we do that, it works for us.
Yeah.
Because we have the athletes on the outside. We have the quarterback who can make all the throws. Listen, this is not our first tight end catching the deep ball over someone. This is our number 2. We can do these things on a consistent basis. Call it, run it, execute it.
Derek Carr here, obviously trying to make a play. Throws this one in the other hands of Eli Apple. Another penalty. Another penalty. Some frustration.
The ball. It's a live ball.
Yeah.
And it's hard to blame the defense at this point in the game. You look at the time of possession. I know we talked about this last week, Marcel, and this was a big issue last week. Once again, the time of possession, 37+ minutes. I don't care what defense you are. That's a lot of time.
Look, when your defense is not giving up a ton of yards, and not necessarily giving up a ton of plays, we have to help them. To EA's point, we have to play complementary football.
Yeah, for sure. And again, what that numbers don't say really, and how you start thinking about the time of possession is 70 plays for the Bengals, 47.
Exactly.
47 plays for our silver and black Las Vegas Raiders. Just not enough time to really establish anything offensively with 47 plays. You want to try and get your running game popping. You want to get some guys involved. 47 plays, just not enough. Only 6 receivers targeted today. We're used to Derek Carr like feeding with like 11 or 12 guys catching the rock. Then we haven't been able to establish anything these last 3 weeks because of penalties, because of lack of execution. All those things kind of, you see them in every game we have lost. You've seen those lack of execution plays that continue to hurt us.
47 offensive plays is just not good enough. You don't get enough opportunities. When I'm talking about opportunities, you're talking about an offense gaining a rhythm, your running back gaining a rhythm, your quarterback gaining a rhythm, your receivers starting to understand what the defense is doing, how the DBs play. Your big play receivers, D-Jack, wasn't even able to get targeted one time today, and he's the fastest man on the field.
Right, yeah.
We need those opportunities. That means we need to establish drives, establish our run game, EA, and then take our shots when the opportunities present themselves. That is how you play football. Not only football, that's how you play a Raider brand of football. Impose your will on someone and go take their heart.
I got you.
Those final stats provided by Sportswater, but one of the reasons why they didn't get enough plays, 1 for 7 on 3rd down. That needs to be corrected. Moving forward, as we take a break on Raiders Game Day, we are going to hear from Raiders interim head coach Rich Bisaccia on the other side. Stay with us.
Raiders Game Day is brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation made to chill. And by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com.
Rich, this was an opportunity for you guys to get back on track, to stay on track in the division and in the playoffs after a 2-game losing streak. You just listed off a lot of bad things that you guys did today. Is there any explanation for that and how the offense hasn't been playing well, the 3rd down inefficiency, the penalties? Is there an explanation for that?
Well, I just think you just asked and answered, Vin. I think, we had penalties in critical situations and extended drives for them against our defense. I thought we were playing well on defense. We gave some big push in there. We expected to get some runs out of them. They're a team that was really running the ball well and playing well in play action. And so we have to look at how the penalties actually hurt us, and then, why we're so out of sync right now on offense. It's been a little bit of a ongoing theme, obviously, right now. We've been talking about it for the last 3 weeks. So we have to look at what we did poorly and see if we can fix it.
Rich, I know that you like to let your coordinators do their job, but I'm curious, with a short week, you've referenced your ineffective offense. Do you have to dig in more as a head coach, maybe, and get in more involved than you have to up at this point?
Well, yeah. I've been involved. This isn't nobody's on an island right now. Certainly, I sit in a lot of the offensive meetings, and I'm involved with the run meetings with Coach Caves and us at running backs and Tim. So I just think we all have to dig in. We all have to look at ourselves a little bit. We have a game coming up right away, and so we're going to start early tomorrow. We've gotten ahead. We've worked on Fridays and nights and those kind of things to try to get us a plan for what's ahead for us on Thanksgiving. So it's no one person. We all have to dig in.
Coach, when you talk about the penalties, could you put your finger, they're all different obviously, but concentration, discipline, maybe not liking some of the calls, what was the?
Yeah, I think all of the above. We had concentration penalties. We lined up in a neutral zone, and then we had the 15-yarder where we had our guys put their hands on the back of the quarterback. When we're going to get off the ball, get off the field, he's throwing the ball away. So I think it's all of the above. There was concentration penalties, there was alignment penalties, so it was just a cornucopia of penalties today. We just didn't do a very good job.
Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. You just heard from interim head coach Rich Bisaccia, Vince Sapienza, Marcel Reece, Eric Allen. Guys, a lot to unpack from just that couple minutes from Rich, but out of sync on offense, penalties are what really stuck out to me. Yeah. When you hear out of sync offense, what are you hearing?
I think the most important thing that he actually said, Vince, was we all have to dig in. Everyone has to dig in. We have to get together. The greatest thing about today's game, we have a short week. No time to think about it. Let's get to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Let's get to Thanksgiving. Let's beat a good Dallas team and move on. Let's start stacking these wins together. Because the good thing about us is we had some wins early on, and right now we're looking at a division where and a conference where everyone is stacked up. Yeah. And at 5-5 right now, we have a chance to still dictate and control our own destiny. And that's the most important thing to look at for the Raider Nation.
It's really important also to really evaluate yourself and find out exactly what your preparation schedule has been like and how has that either hurt or harmed this football team. And it's really important that, yes, you move on to Thursday because you only really have 2 days to really practice and kind of get your body ready.
Yes.
But you have to do a great job of really finding a way to look at yourself, look at your unit, get in, figure out why aren't we consistent in these situations, and find a way both as a schematically and personnel-wise to figure out, hey, we need to be in a better situation in certain situations. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. We need to continue to figure out how we can pressure the quarterback without giving up those middle throws on defense.
Yep.
How much of this, we're at the point now, 3 straight losses, and it seems to be the same story over and over. Mental mistakes, penalties.
Speaking of those, we have the miscues on penalties here. We have Quentin Jefferson, who has been fantastic for us all year long, offsides, and this one is just the bad play at the end.
Yeah.
This is Yannick is just playing hard football. The quarterback, he touches him in the back, he falls down. The ref is going to call it every single time. Right here, we have the sack and the fumble, saying the ball is down, but yet we have our interior lineman who's in a neutral zone.
And so that's in a situation where if you're a Max, hey, get back a little bit. Because you can see down the line,
well,
right?
That's a great move by Max, too.
And again, Max is playing, and these are effort. And you never want to stop the effort of this football team.
Here's the one I don't like. Guys are playing hard. The runner's going down. Defense, that's not a penalty.
You're already trying to secure. He's not down right now, and you're already in your tackling process. You expect me to stop the tackling process and you're trying to come across to the football.
That went from 3 points to 7 points in a one-play swing.
Yeah.
That's a bad call by the referee.
Do you want that cornerback to stop that process? No, you don't.
Absolutely
No,
not.
you don't.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations. There's nothing you can tell Brandon Faison at that point. I mean, you're playing the ball, but the Quentin Jefferson one, especially, he's the closest one to the ball. As a defense, that's debilitating. When you get the team off the field, you're forcing a punt, you flip the field position. But just the mental mistakes, just not quite dialed in on the details.
That's just attention to detail.
It really is.
And we're highlighting and magnifying that one play, but that didn't dictate the game, that one play. Because like I said, Q Jefferson has been playing phenomenal for us all year long as a run stopper, interior pass rusher. And there, he just has to simply remember, hey, check with the ref. If you check with the ref, he gives you the thumbs up. Even if you're a little over, he can't call you offside.
Yeah, for sure. And again, that's for so I'm the defensive end and I'm looking down the line and I see Quentin Jefferson maybe a little bit close to the line, I'm going to tap him. Back up just a little bit, bro. You're off, So, again, it's about teammates working together in those situations. But the effort on most of those miscues are the effort that we want to be known for, the effort that we kind of continue to give each and every week. And that's what makes this D-line, this defense, great at times.
And, Marcel, I think you made a great point. Obviously, we're magnifying these little plays, but these are the plays that they build up, and this is the results you get. However, let's talk about the good.
Yes.
The defense really looked to be the positive light in this game because we saw a progression from last week to this week.
Oh, come on, stay outside. I keep saying it, but you got to stay outside.
EA, explain this one. EA, what is happening? Explain that play.
The eyes go inside for no reason. You got to stick to the sideline so you can dance down the sideline into the end zone. But again, we're talking about the effort, the impact that this defensive line particularly is having on this football team is absolutely phenomenal and is great. And I never can go a week without talking about my man Casey Hayward. Again, continuing to play a really high level of cornerback, helping cover sacks. Okay,
yes.
D-line's getting after it, but there's some cover sacks.
Give DB some love. It's okay, EA.
They've done an outstanding job. I love to see this each and every week. You can turn this tape on. You see the effort. You see the finish. You see these guys getting after the quarterback. And I remember in preseason that these two ends talked about, hey, let's meet the quarterback in practice. It all started in practice. That great combination of Max and Ngakoue continuing to get after it. I mean, just love to see these two young men. Just love to see their craft continue to grow. And they're helping this defense get to the next level.
They're helping this team.
Yes.
Because that defense is playing winning football at a lot of times in these games. And even today, they played some winning football where we could have won the way this defense played. We talked about the penalties, but a lot of those penalties are effort penalties, like the first one on Ngakoue. It happened at a bad time, and it was a bad penalty, but it was an effort penalty. Because if you look at the list, this D-line is playing a ton of snaps. Our offense isn't necessarily helping them by getting them the rest. So they're spending a lot of time on the field, and they're still playing relentless. They're playing high effort, and they're making big plays. This defense made some big plays down the stretch that allowed us to be able to win this game because, listen, it was still a one-possession game in the start of the fourth quarter.
Right.
So we still had a chance. We just got to finish these games. That's all.
3-point game with 12 minutes to go, so the game was very much in hand. And as we talk about short week, using the positives that we found in this game as they're moving on to Thursday, we're going to break down some more positives on the offensive side of the ball the Raiders hope to implement in Dallas. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to Raiders Game Day. Vince Sapienza, Marcel, Reece, Eric Allen as the Raiders fall in Week 11, 32-13. Short week for the Silver and Black as they get set to travel to Dallas for a Thanksgiving matinee affair. And as we look at positives to take away, guys, you found some good positives late in the game that they can carry over.
Yeah, for sure, especially attacking. When you want to attack a football team, you take some of your best players, you get down the middle of the football field, use your accurate quarterback, Derek Carr, you attack the defense, and this is how you do it, Marcel.
And this is one of the more frustrating things because we've had it 2 weeks in a row, EA. Last week it was first drive of third quarter, and here's the drive now. We're in the first drive of the fourth quarter, okay? A great formation. Listen, Deshaun Jackson's on the field, the fastest man in the building. Then we have our two tight ends set. We have our fast running back, and we have Zay Jones. As we watch this roll with the motion, we see the defense shift. Listen, we're going vertical. Let's stretch the field. Guess what? You have the best tight end in the game going down the field. That's an explosive pass. That's a vision of Raider football. Listen, he's the best tight end in the game, and they're giving him a free release, EA.
Exactly. And you see the sight of, I see it zone, so I'm going to sit down. Man, I would have carried it through.
It's definitive. He gives the quarterback his chest. Derek Carr delivers an accurate ball. Catch. Let's move the ball down the field. Watch the second play. We have a bunch set. Brian Edwards,
backside,
a great young wide receiver on the field. As we watch it roll here, again, stretching the field vertically. Look who it is, 83, untouched again.
Watch
free
the
release
route.
down the field.
As soon as you clear him, you bend it in, right?
This is smart football.
Very smart.
Right? As soon as you get behind the linebacker's head, Derek Carr throws a great ball. You catch it, we're right back up the field. Again, stretching the field. We have guys outside the number. One-on-one coverage with Darren Waller. We have Deshaun Jackson lined up at number 3, very inside, along on the same side with Foster Moreau and Brian Edwards. This defense cannot be right.
Look at him. Do I go outside? Do I stay inside?
They don't know what to do.
Hey, you go linebacker. Now you're going to play cornerback.
So let's find our matchup. Derek Carr has the pick of the litter. Foster Moreau wide open. Oh, I wish we could have paused it there. But when we play this back again, watch this. Deshaun Jackson, fastest guy on the field. He has 2 men on him, so no one else can guard Foster Moreau except a number 55. When you have a 55 on there, one of your skill players, you throw the ball. When his head is turned, he cannot find the ball. That's not their skill.
How many times does a linebacker on the outside have to deal with a double move? Almost never, right? So that's why you design a great formation, 2 tight ends split out wide, and you take advantage of the one-on-one coverage because, like you said, that speed inside went right through the middle, took that safety and a corner with them.
EA, a linebacker or a safety on me lined up one-on-one like that, I look at the quarterback and I tap my helmet. That
Beat
says,
the drum.
no matter what the route is, I'm going straight and throw me the ball.
For sure.
Amazing breakdown. News you can use right there here on Raiders Game Day. But that also goes to show you the effect Deshaun Jackson has and can have on this offense. Again, maybe not the targets Raider Nation was hoping for, but slowly but surely he is having an effect.
We call it, when we pass it, we work.
We are not done. As Raiders Game Day rolls on, we're going to hear from a very emotional Derek Carr following the break. Stay with us.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in.
Yeah, we came out flat. It was terrible. There's no beating around it. I mean, it's just, the last couple of weeks we just take turns, and just really out of sync right now, and it's not. No one's coming to save us, so we better figure it out.
Derek, I'm in no way implying this is all on you. You guys play a team sport, but Ole's not coming out today, and the offense was discombobulated. What do you think the reason is?
Oh, you put it all on me. It starts with me, and it starts with me, ends with me. It'll be my fault until I'm not here, and that's how I operate. I always look at what I can do. So we're out of sync. We're not doing good enough on third down. We're not doing good enough in the red zone, and it's my fault.
You said the last 2 weeks you thought this was different, that you were better in terms of a team, more talent, that it would not go this way. You still feel that way?
I still feel that way. That's why it's a little frustrating, but I just got to be better for us.
Derek, it seemed like there was no aggressiveness to get down the field until late in the game. Was that play calling? Was that just it wasn't there? What took so long to get it going down the field?
Yeah, I'll let you guys talk about that stuff. You can watch it and all that kind of stuff respectfully. Like, you can watch it and come up with your own things and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to try my best to execute the game plan like I always do. But being a Raider fan for a long time, 20 years of this crap is enough. I'm fed up. I just want to be a part of the moment it changes. I want that so bad, and that's what keeps driving me. I get pissed off and I get upset, and I stand up here, and I've done this way too many times than I'd like to do it. Because in my heart, the men in our room, the way we work, the way we go after things, it shouldn't always end like this crap. And so we have another one in just a few days against a really good football team. So if we don't want to stand up here and have to do this again, we better get it right.
That was Raiders quarterback Derek Carr. You are watching Raiders Game Day. Guys, I think Derek Carr basically said everything that Raider Nation is probably feeling at this moment. Here we go again, a 3-0 start. You've now lost 5 of your last 7. It always going to fall back on the quarterback. He says it's always on me, starts and ends with me. But out of sync again is kind of the theme that we keep hearing, whether it's on the offensive or defensive side of the ball the last few weeks. What are you hearing when you hear Derek Carr just say, out of sync, it's the same old thing, but it's not the same? What are you seeing?
I know DC very well, and I've also played with him. He's a passionate guy. He loves this. Right now I'm hearing and seeing a frustrated Derek Carr. And I think he's looking for answers to how to fix it. And sometimes it's going to take one play. It's going to take a couple good drives to say, here we are, we got it, now let's just keep it going.
Yeah. Listen, it's very difficult to see a young guy work so hard and have so much heart and skin, blood into the game, and it doesn't work out the way, he would want it to after being at this for such a long time. He's a great football player. He has a talented team around him right now, but so much outside noise, right, coming into the building, and it's really frustrating for them not to be able to come out of this. But the good thing is they still have opportunities,
yes.
And he can be the person that brings them out of this. And DC can be that guy. He can elevate this football team. He has all the accuracy, the leadership, the people around him. It's just the consistency and the execution has to be there on game day.
And that's a good point, EA, because, you know, when I was playing with DC, he was a young kid. He was a rookie. Now he's the veteran and the leader in this room. So now he has the ability to take it upon himself and to do something great. He has the ability to galvanize his teammates, not even by his words, but by his play. And yes, Derek Carr has been efficient. Derek Carr has been great. He can make every throw in the book, but now he can show his teammates. This is how you do it. This is how you make change, by playing football. Not by talking about it, but this is how we're going to do it as a team, and I'm going to be the guy to show you. And that's what I want to see Derek Carr do.
And football, as you guys know, football is a game of fixing the mistakes week to week, getting better. And I think we saw that with Derek Carr and the offense in one particular area. Everybody's asking, why isn't Darren Waller getting the ball enough? Why isn't he getting enough targets? Well, he got plenty today. Yes. Over 100 yards for the 12th time in his career, just the third tight end since he made his debut in 2015 to have that many. This is an elite talent, one of, if not the best in the league, and we saw it on display here again.
There's no doubt about it. I love him. We have to see Darren Waller getting the ball early and often in our offense. Now, he's had a few drops in the last 3 weeks. Today, he was locked in. And I felt it last week. He had a big catch at the end of the game last week. He took a few hits, and he got up and he showed that passion. And that's what I love to see, Darren. Look at him. That skip right there says a lot about a player.
It does.
It says a lot about a player. And that skip and that passion, when you start to get in your groove and start to feel it, listen, you catch a few passes early on in the game, and as a playmaker and a pass catcher, you feel like you cannot be touched.
Yeah.
You feel like Klay Thompson, like you're shooting in the Pacific Ocean and you can't miss. That's what Darren Waller is starting to feel like. And when he feels like that, we start to play really good, explosive football.
Yeah, all those shots, though, it was all about confidence, both from the quarterback and the tight end. It's about confidence. It's about dictating terms of the play. And again, when you're dictating terms, you're more confident at what you're doing, and you have an understanding of, hey, if I'm in rhythm with my tight end, there's really no one in the league right now who could match up with him one-on-one. So wherever I'm going to set you, if I'm going to put you in line, I'll put you outside. If I see one-on-one, I'm going to be confident enough to know I can put the ball in the spot where you're going to catch it and get great yards after the catch. These two guys, when they're on, man, it's nothing like it.
And you felt that confidence on the second drive of offense when D-Wall caught that 25-yard catch and run up the sidelines. You just saw the horse running through the field, feeling right at home. That's what it's about. And that's what the Raiders need more of as they continue this season. Now, we are not done here on Raiders Game Day. We will continue to move on with plenty silver and black news and notes.
My name is Damien Gramajo. I go to Basic, and I'm a quarterback in the class of 22. Being involved in the community really means a lot because my mom has always done everything for me. I would like to donate some money to charity for cancer research because my mom has had cancer in the past, and so I don't want other people to have to worry about seeing their mom or dad go through it. Thank you to the Raiders and the Intermountain Healthcare for coming to Vegas and helping this community grow and get connected.
If there's one word to describe the Raiders locker room after this one, it would be frustration. This is a team that knows that they have the talent to put wins on the field, but they weren't able to execute once again against the Bengals today, and it led to their third straight loss. The good news is with a short week, it's easy to flush this one away as they get ready for the Cowboys next week, but the Raiders certainly know it's getting close to go time.
Back in studio, Raiders Game Day, Vince Sapienza, Marcel, Reece, Eric Allen. Obviously not the result of 32-13 loss for the Silver and Black, but the festivities pregame were fantastic. Salute to Service Weekend around the National Football League, and the Raiders spared no expense at what they were able to do and honor some of our local military as well. We had 40 members of the military. There's the special coin for the coin toss, but 40 men and women re-enlisting pregame from Nellis and Creech Air Force Base. And it was a fantastic atmosphere to be a part of. The recognition they received from the 60,000 plus members of Raider Nation was something to behold.
Yeah, always something new. And
great scene, great moment. Listen, we are the land of the free because of the brave. and we all understand that. It's near and dear to our heart. It's near and dear to Mark Davis's heart, Carol Davis's heart, and the entire Raider organization. So it was a great time and moment to be able to honor all of our service members in every branch of the service in pregame today and throughout the game.
Yeah, for sure. And I come from a military family. My dad was Marine. My grandfather one was Navy, one was Army. So I just get chill bumps, particularly this.
How about that national anthem?
The national anthem was on point. We've had some great ones so far, but that one was one of the best. He knocked it out, hit it out the park, just incredible. Just love to see this, and congratulations to those young men and women who re-enlisted, and to their families also, because they're in it too. And again, just incredible job by the Davis family, the Raiders organization, continuing to knock it out the park as far as our events here at the stadium.
Entertainment's great, but congratulations for the re-enlistment, and thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Congratulations and thank you. Cannot say that enough to them. And as you mentioned, EA, their families as well, especially around Thanksgiving. Just another moment to be thankful for what we all have here. Raiders Game Day rolls on. Stay with us after the break. Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. On Saturday, the Raiders said goodbye to former Raiders fullback Steve Smith, who passed away after a battle with Lou Gehrig's disease. Raiders Nation will never be more thankful for what he did on and off the field.
Never have I seen a fullback as tough as Steve Smith. Just go all out, trying to knock somebody down. Just went in there with reckless abandonment for his body and gave his all for the team. He's the toughest fullback I've ever seen.
I love playing with him because he sacrificed himself. I always tell people I don't care what anybody says, fullback was the toughest position in football, period.
This guy's quite simply one of the toughest guys I ever met in my life, man. I mean, he had a permanent knot right here in his forehead, all during the season, because that's what he's going to do. He's going to put that knot right on somebody's chest week in and week out, and even in practice.
Smitty was awesome, man. I love Smith, some Steve Smith from Penn State, number 35, man. It was like, oh my God, here we are in practice. I'm like, Smitty, yo, man, it's practice. Union, brother, union. Slow down, man. Let's hit each other and just make a bunch of noise. Ah! You ain't got to try to knock my head off, man. But he wasn't going for it.
The thing that made him a Raider, he learned how to be tough. He was never going to be our 1,000-yard rusher, but he was going to knock somebody out.
He was fast. He was powerful. He was smart. And he was a pro. I mean, he worked hard. He was a great teammate. He was a great family man. I mean, he was just a great, great guy. I love him, love him.
Steve was a gentleman, clean-cut, well-behaved young man. He thought it was more important to be nice than to be important. He was absolutely going to be a father, a husband, and be good at both of those. That was his goal in life.
It brought tears to my eyes to see this guy who I knew was such a huge guy, and to see him in the position that he was in, and to know that it was unexplainable. And I just felt so much for his family, for him, and Shea, his wife, is just an angel on earth. For someone you know so closely to be such a hero on the football field, to be in that position is just really tragic, really tragic.
Man, Steve, I'm so sorry about what happened to him, and I pray for him and his family all the time.
Steve Smith is still in my head today as a big, strong, burly fullback that went in there and hit a linebacker in his chin and knocked him out. That's the vision I have, and that's the vision I want to keep. Yeah, that's the vision I want to keep.
What happened to him was tragic, but I think the fact that the players, how they respected him, it tells a lot about him. He was just, he was a classic. He was a classic. God bless him. God bless him.
He was that unsung guy. He was the quiet guy that just did his job. And those guys go unnoticed and they get forgotten over time. I hope he doesn't get forgotten because he was part of the great tradition that the Raiders have.
You know, there's just not quite a family like the Raider Nation family, and watching pieces like that just shows you just how close this group is. And guys, by the sound of it, sounds like the only people that didn't like Steve Smith was the ones lining up against him every weekend. What can you tell us about the man, the player?
Yeah, well, his tragedy brought all Raiders together, right? And his wife and my wife became really close. And, you know, I had never played against Steve and was never a teammate, but his situation brought two families together. So just God rest his soul, and just praying for his family right now.
Absolutely. Great feature by Raider Life team. But listen, fullback is one of the most thankless positions in football. And the biggest compliment you could get from your teammates and your ex-coaches is to say, he was a great teammate. I loved playing with him. And as you can see, so many men looked up to him for what he did on the field and what he did off the field, more importantly. He was a great man, someone that I did watch film on when I was making my position switch, and he played the game the right way, and obviously he was a great teammate. So God rest his soul, prayers and condolences to he and his family.
Tough guy, playing the toughest position, and Jay Schrader talked about how he's a glue guy, an unsung hero. Hopefully he's never going to be forgotten. I can guarantee Raider Nation will never forget Steve Smith. Raiders Game Day rolls on right after the break.
Once a Raider, always a Raider.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders.
The big part for me is like third downs. I feel like the solution just lies in execution. Some people execute, some people don't. It separates the good teams from the great teams, from teams that, you know, just have aspirations. So I feel like the execution is the biggest part.
Is there anything that you could put your finger on why the execution hasn't been there, specifically on third downs, which has been a pretty big trouble spot for you guys these last 2 weeks?
I mean, I don't really have all the answers, but at the end of the day, it comes down to, are you moving the chains or not? And we just haven't been doing that.
Darren, when you look at the way you guys aren't able to run the ball consistently this last few weeks, is this making your offense too one-dimensional for you guys, so too predictable in a way?
I see where the trouble in that lies because, you know, when we run the ball well, that just makes us a really good team. Like over the last couple of years, when we really can pound the rock, that really is when we're at our best offensively. And we're a team that wants to run the ball, so when it doesn't go our way like that, it does make it tougher for us. So we got to find a way to be more balanced.
You just heard from Darren Waller, went over 100 yards for the 12th time in his career, just the third tight end since 2015 to reach that milestone. So obviously we know he's elite, but something he said that sticks out to me is third downs. The Raiders 1 for 7 today on third downs. When we talk about execution, and you know, it's a buzzword, fans are like, what does that mean? Converting on third downs is a big part of it.
It is huge, incredibly important to keep the ball away from opposing offenses, but you got to find yourself in manageable third down situations. You can't be in 3rd and 7 to 8 to 9 all the time. You have to be in some 3rd and 3, some 3rd and 4. So now you do have the option to hand the ball off, finding a way to get critical third downs with an outstanding personnel in Darren Waller and an outstanding route runner in Third and Renfro.
Oh, talk about Third and Renfro. Man. And that's a good point. See, EA and I don't always agree, but we are agreeing there. Third down is the money down that everyone thinks about, but it's all about first and second down. How do you stay on schedule? What I mean by staying on schedule, are we positive on first down? Are we positive on second down? To make those third downs more manageable. And when they're manageable, your playbook expands, it opens up. You can call absolutely anything. If you want to take a shot when you're in the red zone and then go for it on fourth down, you can do that. And that's what great teams give themselves, the option to do anything they want on third down. Make it third and manageable, make it third and short by being positive on first and second down. Right. We have to establish the run. We have to impose our will. Then we take the souls of our opponents.
That's right.
Marcel, EA might want to look away just for a moment because we're going to look at how the AFC West fared today. Not the greatest results you would want for the Silver and Black. Kansas City Chiefs beating the Cowboys while the Chargers outdid the Steelers. Now, forget all that because Raider Nation has everything they need right in front of them. They play a long list of teams that they need to leap over the rest of this season. So it really just starts with taking care of themselves. Scoreboard watching is not necessarily the thing they want to be doing right now.
No, absolutely not. Look, we're 5-5, and we're right in the hunt to do whatever we want to do. Because if we win out, we're going to beat every team on that list.
That's right.
The great thing about our schedule now, we're backloaded with a ton of AFC teams. And when it comes down to this point in time in the season, I've said it before, EA, Vin, the AFC games basically count for 2 in the playoffs. You have to win your division. You have to win in your conference, and we have those opportunities going down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a great chance, a great opportunity for our football team to really turn that page and find out exactly what we're made of. Put all that work in the preseason, all that work in the beginning of the season. You are what you are right now. You're a 500 football team, and it's really up to those guys in the locker room to make sure they take care of that business. They find ways to win. I talked a lot today about the guy who just makes it happen. Somebody didn't know who it was going to be. Somebody has to have the will to win on the football field. Special teams play, a pick six, fumble recovery. Someone has to be able to make that big play to turn this mojo around a little bit.
Raiders need to turn the page, but we are not turning the page on Week 11 just yet because we got our Monday night pick 'em.
Yeah, we should turn the page on that.
Who we pick? No, let's stay on this, EA. I think you like.
Let's
who's
turn
in
the
last
page.
place? I can't see that far.
Listen,
Marcel, help out.
EA is right where he belongs, at the bottom of the totem pole, and he will continue to stay there all season long. He thinks he's going to make a run at the end of the season, but it won't happen.
Well, I'm helping out Aaron. I'm going with the layup, right? It's got to be a layup.
Wow.
TB box?
Tommy touchdown, or we'll take it to the
Well, the Giants beat him twice in the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow to make my real pick.
Michael Strahan's not walking through that door, and neither is Eli. Eli will be on the cast.
Rolls on. Stay with us right after the break.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in. Modelo, a taste that's pure gold. Brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. And by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com.
Back in studio, Raiders Game Day. Vince Sapienza, Marcel, Reece, Eric Allen. We are no longer looking in the rearview mirror. We are looking ahead at what the Silver and Black need to do because that is all we can do at this point. And that next one comes up quick, guys. Thursday matinee in Big D.
Yes. I hate Big D. Don't like Big D. Never did. Okay. Dallas Cowboys offensively, pretty good. Pretty good football team. Got to figure out a way to stop Dak Prescott and those Dallas Cowboys.
Listen, every game is hard, every game is tough, but the next game is always the most important game. So listen, we forget about this game, we learn from it, move on to Dallas and beat another good football team. Then we're gonna have another good football team after that and more to come. So the Raiders have to understand we gotta play a Raider brand of football and go knock them in the mouth.
2 prep days, gotta get after it.
Eric Allen, Marcel Reece, Vince Sapienza. Thanks for joining us on Raiders Game Day. We'll see you next time.
Just win, baby.